Hey, you're tuned in to On the Grind with Political Decode. I'm your host, Johnny Caruso. You see the title, Optimus 3, Elon Musk Robots. They say it can moonwalk. I don't know. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Let's get into the video.
Tesla just dropped something that has everyone in the robotics world doing a double take. No cinematic buildup needed here. Let's cut straight to the point. Optimus danced. Yes, Tesla's humanoid robot just showed off actual dance moves in a video Elon Musk shared on Twitter. And not just stiff, robotic gestures. These were surprisingly smooth, coordinated, and, dare we say, human-like movements. Welcome back, guys. Alfie here, bringing you another mind-blowing update. Tesla Optimus just showed off actual dance moves. And it's the most human thing we've seen yet. You're watching the AI Nexus, and as always, we're here to bring you every step of the future. Let's go. Now that might sound like a fun gimmick, a robot doing the moonwalk or grooving to a beat, but this goes way beyond entertainment. What we just witnessed is a massive leap in how robots perceive, learn, and mimic human motion. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When Elon posted the video, the caption was simple, but the implications were huge. In the clip, Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot, is seen performing a sequence of dance steps that includes footwork with precise timing, rhythmic torso movement, and even a subtle swagger. It wasn't jerky, it wasn't awkward, it looked natural. This wasn't some pre-programmed routine slapped together for a marketing stunt. This was the product of a deep AI training regimen that took place entirely in simulation. Yes, all of it was learned without touching the real world until it was ready. That's reinforcement learning in action. And let's talk about that for a second. According to the Tesla AI team, Optimus learned this behavior through sim-to-real reinforcement learning. In simpler terms, Optimus was placed in a highly realistic simulation where it could try, fail, learn, and retry at superhuman speeds. Once it mastered the dance moves virtually, those skills were transferred to the real-world robot. Tesla's team tweeted, "More coming shortly. The team has been working very hard in the background. Entirely trained in simulation with RL. Many optimizations and fixes have been put in place in our sim-to-real."
Now that was pretty cool. Him doing that thing could dance better than me. It could dance. What else can it do? Because if you could dance, what else can it do is the question. I want to know, will y'all be, how much would this robot have to be for you to purchase this robot? 50 grand? Does it have to come down to 30 grand? 15 grand? Let me know in the comment section. How much does this robot have to be for you to go ahead and buy you one? And what's the deal breaker? Like, what does it have to actually be able to do for you to finally say, you know what? I think I'm gonna buy one now. I think if it could just do my dishes, I'm in. Because dishes, that's kryptonite for me. Let me know in the comment section.
We're honored to have President Trump. We're honored under the sponsorship and guidance of His Royal Highness to celebrate a U.S.-Saudi and a Saudi-U.S. relationship that is 92 years old, about how we move from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy powered by wonderful technologies that definitely you're one of the pioneers in this industry. We just showed to His Royal Highness some of your Optimus robots, and to President Trump. Let's talk about that. Tell me about them.
Yes, so we just showed several of our Tesla Optimus robots to His Highness and President Trump, and I think they were very impressed. In fact, one of our robots did the Trump dance, which I thought was pretty cool.
The YMCA, yeah?
Yeah, to YMCA. So yeah, our robots can dance, they can walk around, they can interact. I think we're headed to a radically different world. I think a good world, an interesting world. My prediction actually for humanoid robots is that ultimately there will be tens of billions. I think everyone will want to have their personal robot. You can think of it like as though you had your own personal C-3PO or R2-D2, but even better. Then who wouldn't want to have their own personal C-3PO or R2-D2? That would be pretty great. I also think it unlocks an immense amount of economic potential, because when you think of like what is the output of an economy, it is productivity per capita times population or capita. Once you have humanoid robots, the actual economic output potential is tremendous. It's really unlimited. Potentially, we could have an economy 10 times the size of the current global economy, where no one wants for anything. Sometimes in AI they talk about universal basic income. I think it's actually going to be universal high income, where anyone can have any goods or services that they want. A science fiction book recommendation that I have, which I think is probably the best envisioning of an AI future, is the culture books by Ian Banks. Very highly recommended for a non-dystopian view of the future. Now, there obviously are some risks, which illustrate perhaps if we don't do this right, you could have like a James Cameron sort of movie, Terminator.
Thing is human is how it moves. That slight toe push-off when walking, the timing of foot placement, the balance through the hips. These are incredibly complex motor skills. And Tesla nailed one of the hardest ones: toe-off locomotion. In the dance demo, Optimus shows off this new toe-off feature in its footwork. What does that mean? Rather than clunky, flat-footed steps, Optimus now uses the front of its foot to push off the ground just like a person does. This makes walking, or in this case, dancing, smoother, more energy efficient, and, critically, more human. Most robots move with their whole foot flat on the floor the entire time. That's stable, sure, but it's unnatural and inefficient. Tesla's implementation of toe-off marks a leap toward biomechanical realism. It also means Optimus can eventually walk faster, climb stairs more effectively, and maneuver through dynamic environments with greater ease. So when we say this dance is human-like, we're not exaggerating. It's a direct result of Tesla giving its robot the kind of joint movement and timing humans use without thinking. All right, so Optimus can dance. But what does that really mean for the future?
Most traders fail because they trade manually. In 2025, you should...
Future would be great, where we're out there exploring the stars, discovering the nature of the universe, and a level of prosperity and hopefully happiness that we can't quite imagine yet. So I'm very excited about the future, and very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's our absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And His Royal Highness was talking to you about his vision and his dream to increase productivity for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and power up the region and the whole world with robotics, but also on robo-taxis. So how are we doing on robo-taxis?
So really you can think of a car or future cars as being robots on four wheels. And I think it would be very exciting to have autonomous vehicles here in the kingdom.
Indeed.
If you're amenable.
You heard it here from Elon. He's bringing his robo-taxi to the kingdom.
Yeah.
He has another announcement that he's going to share later.
Exactly. So, and I'd also like to thank the kingdom for approving Starlink for maritime and aviation use. Thank you.
Maritime and aviation. There you go. There you go.
So
you're going to bring us robots to help us increase our productivity.
Yeah.
Robo-taxis to make sure that our cars and assets turn into a cash-generating unit.
Yeah.
And Starlink to reform our aviation and maritime.
Yeah.
Talk about XAI.
Absolutely. But I should want to mention also something that may be worth considering is tunnels.
Tunnels. The
So
Boring Company.
I have this company called The Boring Company, which sounds kind of boring, but it literally bores tunnels. And actually, tunnels, in order to solve traffic, you really need to go 3D with roads. And by using tunnels, you can essentially create like a wormhole, like a warp tunnel from one part of a city to another and alleviate traffic. And we've actually already done this proof of concept in Vegas. So there are working tunnels in Las Vegas that you can.
Okay, there you have it. That concludes the end of our video. It will appear that this Optimus 3 robot is going on assembly line. And it would appear that it's going to be something major and a big deal. Helping your kid with his homework. Maybe there'll be less drunk drivers and people killed on the road. Assisting cars driving. Maybe if you live in rural areas, it can help you farm tomatoes, plant, like it seems like it's really unlimited what this thing could do. I'm just wondering what's the maintenance cost gonna be. Pretty sure it's gonna be pretty high to if you have to go in for repairs. But I mean, we have $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 cars. They have repairs. So is this gonna be like joined at the hip now? Every car has a, everybody owns a car, everybody owns a robot. Or maybe now if you go buy a Tesla, you can get the deal with the Tesla car with the robot, like a package, a 2-in-1. That might make you decide to buy a Tesla. All right, man. Hope y'all liked the video. Go ahead and subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so you can be notified. And you're on the grind with Political Decode.